Zach Smith was arrested in 2013 and didn't tell Urban Meyer. Charged with drunk driving back a few years ago. Speeding and operating a vehicle while intoxicated is the official charge. And this was back in February, 1 year after he joined the Buckeyes staff. So, good character guy, this Zach Smith character here. He later pleaded guilty to a lesser charge and had his license suspended. So his OVI arrest was not made public until Monday morning, which, by the way, I don't understand, because I learned at the Philip Merrill College of Journalism at the University of Maryland that all arrests are public record. So, how did this become public Monday morning? I think it was public, just nobody dug it up. And then eventually, good journalism comes through, it's dug up, and here you go. And how about this for irony? In an employee performance review weeks after that arrest in 2013, Smith received a 5, the best possible score, in the category of the following, quote, understands and adheres to university's core values. Look, this is just a mess. It's a mess. Would you hire Zach Smith on your staff? Because he apparently wants to be reinstated at Ohio State. Now I want you guys to pretend you are AD Gene Smith right now. Are you bringing this guy back? We're talking about a 2013 arrest. We're talking about multiple instances of domestic violence allegations. Obviously, his character is in question. Even when you look at that ESPN interview, when Smith just denies everything, he's like looking over here, looking over there as he says it. He's not even giving the eye contact. That's very telling, guys. That's telling of a pathological liar, to be honest with you. So, I don't know. It's brutal. It's a mess. And as a follow-up here, OSU investigators recently met with Courtney Smith, as OSU is investigating, of course, how football coach Urban Meyer handled domestic abuse allegations against her former husband. So Smith's lawyer said on Monday afternoon, quote, today, Courtney Smith met with the independent investigative team hired by the Ohio State University Board of Trustees. Goes on to say, she was accompanied by her lawyers and welcomed the opportunity to speak to the investigators. Courtney continues to be thankful for the support she has received during this time. Now, of course, Urban Meyer was placed on paid leave on August 1st, the day Courtney Smith told reporter Brett McMurphy she had told Urban Meyer's wife, Shelley, about the abuse she suffered at the hands of her husband. So the resolution to all of this is expected to come on Sunday. Now, these pictures surfaced initially with Brett McMurphy's reporting, and there you see some of the damages that Courtney Smith allegedly received from her ex-husband. By the way, Ohio State University will have as much as $500,000 to pay the law firm leading the investigation of Urban Meyer's handling of Zach Smith. That according to reports out there. According to records actually obtained by Columbus Business First. That's a lot of money. So hopefully Ohio State's investigation is indeed thorough, is indeed worthwhile here. And there have been so many conflicting reports about this entire situation. I'll get to some of that later. But Courtney Smith meeting with OSU as that investigation continues to roll on. Anthony in comments just chiming in, this is not good. Yeah, this is quite depressing, to be honest with you, that there are people out there that allegedly hit their wives. Not good. All right, so continuing along here with this OSU reporting. Zach Smith, also interviewed by OSU, reportedly went for, quote, several hours. Now, Zach answered every question that was asked of him, and that the lawyers conducting the interview were, quote, thoroughly prepared and very exhaustive in their questioning, according to Zach Smith's attorney, Bradley Koffel. So Smith continues to deny that he has ever committed domestic abuse on his ex-wife, Courtney, although he has admitted that the relationship was, quote, toxic and there were times when things got out of hand. Okay, well, don't really know what that means. If, get out of hand means physical, that would certainly fall in line with what Courtney is saying. Now, Courtney filed for a domestic violence protection order against Zach back in July. So what is OSU figuring out right now? In essence, they are looking into how Urban Meyer responded to Courtney's domestic abuse allegations against Zach Smith, trying to determine what he knew when. So the timeline of all of this is uber important, and that's why the OSU investigators and the trustees here are interviewing Courtney Smith and Zach Smith to get the timeline right and to figure out when and what Urban Meyer knew about all of these allegations out there. Should Ohio State fire Urban Meyer? Type away in comments, type fire or F for fire, K for keep. A lot of comments coming in right now. Chris says F. Dustin with a bunch of Fs. Fire, 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 fire. Anthony says F as well. So be sure to weigh in on this one. Be tracking what you guys say here on YouTube Live as well as Facebook Live. More on Urban Meyer, but first, this is the Cam Rogers Show presented by AutoList. If you are looking for a new or used car out there and you're tired of browsing a million sites, go on to Autolist.com to browse the largest source of inventory on the web, or download their top-rated mobile app for iPhone or Android today. All right, you want to talk about how big of a mess this is. This soap opera is something else. So the Urban Meyer investigation brings us to Tom Herman somehow. Head coach of Texas, of course, former offensive coordinator under Urban Meyer. So a man by the name of Jeff Snook reported on Facebook that sources told him Tom Herman was the one who tipped off Brett McMurphy on the Zach Smith situation. Snook added that Tom's wife, Michelle Herman, encouraged Courtney Smith to go public with her claims about Zach. Now, the Hermans even helped pay for Courtney Smith's legal fees, according to this report. And by the way, people have come at me on Twitter like, great journalism, man, reporting on anonymous sources. I'm not reporting anything. I'm telling you what is being reported, and then I leave you to digest it and make your own determinations. That's what I do here on this show. I'm not creating the rumors or creating the news. I am simply congregating all of these reports, presenting them to you, and allowing you, the viewer, the watcher, the fan out there, to determine what is true and what is not true. And then you comment away in the comments section, and then I respond, and we have a good time. That's what we do here at the Cam Rogers Show, so little soapbox moment there. So Michelle Herman answered this Snook report, by the way, Michelle, the wife of Tom, saying, "This is BS. We had no reason good enough to do that to Shelley or Urban." Okay, so that is the report there from this guy on Facebook named Jeff Snook. So after that, writer Brian Davis reported Herman denied he was McMurphy's source, saying, quote, right from Tom Herman, "It is absolutely untrue. Neither I nor anybody in my family has ever communicated with Brett McMurphy about the situation at Ohio State." So Herman did confirm that his wife, Michelle, had given money in March 2017 to Courtney Smith. Quote, "In March of 2017, my wife assisted her friend Courtney during a time of financial need." Doesn't necessarily say it has to do with legal stuff. Now, Brett McMurphy took to Twitter himself to deny being in contact with Tom Herman here. So here's Brett. "For those who have asked for my response to Jeff Snook's claim on Saturday, quote, I have never revealed my sources in my nearly 4-decade journalistic career, and I am not going to start now. However, I will say unequivocally that Tom Herman was not my source." All right, so we have this Jeff Snook guy saying that Herman tipped off McMurphy. We have Herman and McMurphy coming out publicly saying that is not true at all. Clashes of reports. Meanwhile, Tina Carano, the mother of Courtney Smith, recently went against her own daughter's claims, according to this Snook report. So Carano was quoted as saying she did not believe Zach Smith had abused Courtney, and backed up further claims made by Zach's mother, Lynn Bruce, that Courtney Smith had vowed to take down Urban Meyer as part of revenge for Zach Smith's infidelity. Okay, so that is what is coming out of the Snook report here. Courtney's own mother does not believe her. Okay, well, interesting. Brett McMurphy recently posted text messages and photos and basically showed a dialogue between Zach Smith and Tina, which contradicts Snooks' report, showing what were reportedly conversations between Tina and Zach Smith, as you see on your screen, about abuse of Courtney. And then you have that little comment there. We blew it up for you guys so you can see it in particular. Then Tina calls that out and says, I don't remember these conversations. Where is the proof that those texts are even from me or my phone? Okay. So we are officially in the crapshoot region of the rumors and of the contradictory notions of all of this. So to recap, Jeff Snook says that Tom Herman was tipped off by, Brett McMurphy was tipped off by Tom Herman. And then you have Tom Herman and Brett McMurphy saying, no, we did not talk about any of the Zach Smith stuff or OSU. And then you have Tina Carano, cited in the Snook report that she did not believe Courtney Smith and the allegations against Zach. Then you have Brett McMurphy coming out with text messages that show Zach and Carano having a dialogue about Courtney. Oh, and by the way, Carano then comments on that Facebook post by Brett saying, well, where's the proof that those are mine? Those are my conversations. Does anyone else's brain hurt right now? I mean, scale of 1 to 10, I had it up in the previous Urban Meyer segment from Monday. 10 being a crapshoot, how big of a mess is this Urban Meyer scandal? This is just unbelievable. Somebody in the comments section on YouTube Live, Nick Saban is the GOAT. Nick Saban is just sitting back and just being like, let the mess unfold around Ohio State as Alabama goes for yet another national championship game. It's just like unbelievable. All right, so to put a bow on this, decision should come by the weekend, maybe Monday morning, about the Urban Meyer investigation. So stay tuned on the Cam Rogers Show with all of the latest details in regards to that. All right, folks, I am signing off for now. I'll be back here on Friday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. If you missed any of the show, don't you worry. We are looping it for you, so keep it right here on this video. And hey, continue the conversation on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. I'll try to respond to all of you guys in comments as well. See you Friday.